Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Ezra, and in today's video I got you guys Subtlety Rogue patch 725 PvP guide out. Now there is a lot that's going on in patch 725. Really a lot of things happen to Subtlety, so I try to make as comprehensive a video as possible. Now if you don't know the very basics when it comes to Subtlety PvP, I suggest checking out one of my earlier videos from patch 7.2, as it was more descriptive in detail for brand new players. So you can watch that and come back to this video in order to get the changes, because this video is mostly going to go through the changes, the builds, and kind of just plug along from there with the idea that you probably know the very basics of Subtlety. Because this video is mostly going to cover the changes and the basics from patch 725 with you guys as having previous knowledge, it's going to be as short of a video and as much to the point as possible. If you have any more questions in the comments below, or if you think I should make my guides in future more detailed, please feel free to comment that. So without further ado, let's get to it. The first change is to Nightblade. They reduced the damage over time for it, but they added a debuff where you deal 50% increased damage to the enemy afflicted by Nightblade. So now Nightblade is not there for the damage over time, but mostly for the debuff increase to buff your other abilities. Backstab overall damage got buffed, but the damage modifier while you're behind the enemy got nerfed to make you a little bit more consistent, and backstab became a viable option for a combo point builder from here on out. Symbols of Death is changed. They added a 20% damage buff it would give you as a flat buff to Subtlety, and now you would use it as a 30-second cooldown to grant 40 energy and 15% damage during your burst phases to deal more damage. Shuriken combo is different too. When you're spinning shurikens and generating combo points, use eviscerates right afterwards in order to deal damage to enemies instead of popping Nightblade on everybody. Lastly, Deepening Shadows is not quite as potent. They reduced it a little bit, but there are talents to buff it, but it comes with a different build. So that is something for you guys to note, not as many shadow dances. There was also a change to Flicker and Shadows. No longer will Sprint give you Vanish, but they have a reduced cooldown on Sprint and Vanish altogether as a flat reduction. Now this is a regular build, going to go with Master Subtlety for 10% damage increase while in Stealth and Shadow Dance, because Subtlety is going to be more about finisher damage thanks to Nightblade changes. Subterfuge to increase the duration of your Shadow Dance slightly so you can get as many abilities as you can. Vigor for the energy regen, energy cap being a little bit higher, allowing you to squeeze more abilities into your rotation. Elusiveness because it is the best option for most of the damage reduction capabilities in PvP. Pray in a way because most of your lineups are going to come with a stun anyway, so you might as well get 10% damage out of it. Dark Shadow is a fun for BGs and just fun PvP build where you want to deal the most damage. So that's the one you want to go for, and combo it together with Death from Above with Finality from your artifact weapon in order to just deal the most amount of damage. Now this BG is more of a BG build, more of a bursty build, but the other build is more set for arenas and more CC based capabilities. The first few talents are basically the same, and then you go for Enveloping Shadow so you have an extra charge on your Shadow Dance, allows you more saps and more cheap shots, and then you go for Mark for Death or Master of Shadows depending on your preference. Mark for Death can give you an oomph of that damage for more eviscerates at a 40-second cooldown, which is pretty short, and Master of Shadows gives you the extra energy regen to keep spamming abilities and being more sustained base with this type of build. When it comes to honor talents, they're pretty self-explanatory. You got your medallion. Unless you are a human or an orc, you should always go with a medallion. Humans and orcs have a potential for relentless or adaptation. Now in the second row, you have your health increase through reinforced armor. That's probably the best option in most cases. If you're going against a full heavy melee cleave within arenas, then sparring will be a better option, but not every class is physical melee. That's something to consider. Third row, we have maneuverability, which is the best option in most cases and BGs, especially if anything has slows on you. On the other hand, shift can be used to peel targets that have high mobility, so I would mostly use it for melee and some mobile casters. In the fourth row, smoke bomb is probably the best option for helping you secure a kill, though Thieves Gambit has potential in specific BG and 2v2 situations. In the fifth row, we have interesting option of Dagger in the Dark, which only works while in stealth, so is great for BGs for extra beefy damage, but I think Cold Blood would be a more consistent option because you don't need to use only in stealth and it's a 1-minute cooldown. In the last row, Thieves Bargain is an interesting option that offers you a lot of capabilities for reduced health at a better cost with 725, best for BGs. I'm not sure how good it will be on arenas, but the new and updated Phantom Assassin will give you the extra crit in order to help secure kills, which is great within arena situations. So pick your build however you want it to be for any situation. Here we go, the basic subtlety. Maintain Nightblade when you go into burst the enemy, line up Symbols of Death when you come in for the burst, use Shadow Dance if you do have it set up as a burst based build, and try to get as many abilities into Shadow Dance whenever you have it. Try to have the enemy lined up with a stun, and to generate combo points you would use Backstab or Shadow Strike if it's available. Make sure to pull energy ahead of time before you line up in your burst, and know what kind of rotation you're going to go through when you're lining up burst. It will take a lot of practice and a little bit of time spending on the trained dummies, but once you eventually nail it down, you'll be able to adjust it and adapt to it so you can line up a stun, Nightblade, and as many adversaries as possible while you have Shadow Dance burst available. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I try to make it as more straightforward for you guys instead of being as redundant as I usually am with my guides. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully the footage speaks for itself. Hopefully we're able to see the rotation. And yeah, if you have any more comments or any more suggestions for future guides, feel free to comment that in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'm currently enjoying the new patch 725 Subtlety, and I'm hoping you guys are enjoying it as well. Take it easy guys, and have a good one.